Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our Lagrisser mobile series. And while I paste the link, one moment please. There we go. And one more place. We are preparing ourselves for one of the matches to come. And I actually thought a lot of people are very much fans of Zelda, and I'm pretty sure Zelda is gonna have enough coverage from everyone else. So I've decided that I am going to cast the match for MethoD and Maybz. My information for both of these players is that they are both at a similar level of expenditure, if you could say like this. So it's also what's known as a whale match, which could be very, very entertaining for us to see what power level, their strength, and their units are. And sometimes when we get to see matches like this, we get to enjoy stuff that we normally don't have access to. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the boxes are presented and what their counterplays are to what is normally considered a tank push strategy or a rush strategy. Additionally, if I am correct, I could be wrong though, I believe MethoD is the continuation of the account of Su1. Go, ready to go? Is it time? I feel like it's time. The continuation of the account of Su1, who was actually the player that beat me on Season 1 of Apex Arena Eliminations. And that's why I am actually rooting for him, because, you know, if I was defeated by the champion, that means I didn't do that bad. So here we go. What are we looking at? Actually, first of all, I need confirmation that the stream is on, because usually my program likes to okay. Seems like it was on, and then we got echo. Okay, both players are waiting to enter, so one of them is actually thinking over the strategy, still has not pressed the button. I usually press that button immediately because I get too nervous. So, what do we see? For Maybz, this seems to be... okay, it seems to be a very default and standard Season 2 box that has not deviated from the meta in the Chinese servers. We see a Claret, which is still very useful against rush mechanics, and we see a Julia, which is the tank killer that everyone likes to go to. We see a Leonhardt, which is very likely to stay in the role of Dispeller. We see a Joshua, who has a very disputed position here, since he belongs more to the rush strategy, and it may not be the case for any other scenario. On the side of MethoD, we actually see two modifications. One of them becomes very apparent, which is the capacity of having Yusuke. Yusuke in this case represents both the mythical faction, which is not having Gizarov here present, but also the time faction, and he can buff himself. That's actually what makes him very strong. He does not need another person to buff him, but he can also take care of it himself. However, other than Leonhardt and Iris, I don't see any other time character. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so both boxes present very diverse opportunities. I think I favor MethoD slightly because Yusuke is really a person that can make a difference. So if the picks are there, if the bans are there, then a team might define already how good the match will go. As the classic meme goes, Ban Landius will always come first. It's one of the most powerful units and usually defines a lot of possibilities and strategies that other people can follow. And we will see how the landscape ends up with. First pick of a juggler in order to ensure the tank. Usually what people do in situations like this is to make sure that if they offer only two tanks and the first one gets banned, they immediately pick the other so that they have a tank secured. An immediate pick of juggler on the other side, and the bans will follow. We'll see. Actually, MethoD did not include Listel, which is usually considered a counter to juggler. So we may see picks of Listel. Alternatively, we may see picks ensuring whomever the strongest DPS is going to be next. So in a match like this, basically almost all options are up. They could even pick Leonhard in case they want to attack the enemy, but as I was mentioning, Listel is a very, very strong opponent against jugglers. In case we have new viewers watching the game, Juggler is a tank that as a talent has that every time he receives damage, he heals everyone else but himself for a portion of his remaining health. So Juggler is amazing at defending against AoE attacks because as everyone else gets healed back to full, Juggler is the only one who ends up taking the damage. However, Listel has the magic capacity of turning healing into damage, which in the case of Juggler means that as soon as this debuff is applied, he will be damaging his entire team in addition to the AoE that is occurring, or the single target damage, and so on. So usually, Listel is considered one of the possible counter picks to Juggler. The bans here are taking a little bit longer for MethoD because there are still many possibilities. So he chooses to start denying some of the stronger healing options that also offer rushing options. Iris, one of the first bans, would have been extremely dangerous because she has the capacity to teleport people forward, like for example Listel, and put them in a position where an attack is imminent, an attack is unavoidable. That's usually one of the moving strategies that can be employed for situations like this. On the side of MethoD, we see the pick of Luna. Luna is one of the first characters that are very relevant in PvP that has access to their 3 cost skills. This came literally last week, so this combat is gonna have as new mechanics as recent as last week. Everyone who is currently participating in this round is obviously leveling themselves as fast as possible, so that they can participate on these 3 cost skill mechanics. In the case of Luna, it's a mechanic that allows non-flying allied units to walk 2 tiles further if they cross her aura. So that could be very, very important when it's time to determine how far one unit can go. It would not work with Claret, for example, but it could totally work with Yusuke, it could totally work with Leonhard or with Elwin, or anyone who just really needs to move forward. It's also important to notice that so Liana has been picked on the left. Important to notice that Leonhard here belongs also to the Origins of Light team, which Juggler can buff, so that is another consideration to be done. But the Iris pick is very clear here. Iris can teleport people around, and that is an extremely strong movement skill that can be employed at any time. Iris can also teleport herself, so that is also very, very useful for positioning purposes. Let's see, I'm guessing the bans are gonna end up at Listel and probably Leonhard, so we will see what happens. It's also important to notice that if Luna does not pick her 3 cost skill, she is capable of carrying faction buff, attacking skill, and wind spiral, so that's pretty decent. And it's an option in case MethoD wants to go for a princess team, for example with Claret. However, I really doubt that it's gonna be Claret follow-up here. I'm guessing the bans are going to be Leonhard and Claret. Yep, that is correct. This may lead to a Listel pick, we will see about that. I think personally I would go with Bozel. It's a little bit more versatile now that he has 6 slots to play with. You can carry Sleep, you can carry 2 AoEs, and that's actually very, very powerful. Always drink water. Ooh, we see a Claret on Maybz, and let me tell you, player 1 Claret Liana is a very dangerous combination. So if you think that the opponent has a rush strategy and he's trying to use the last turn of being player 2 in order to set up, it's possible to use Claret to keep them completely outside of your attacking range, especially in a map full of flying tiles like this one. And with the again from Liana, you can actually gift the opponent the first turn so that they can no longer use the rush strategy against you. So that's very interesting. At the end, I think we're gonna see a Joshua pick. I don't see Weiler here, but who knows? Maybe it is. On the side of MethoD, Who will we see? A Bozel indeed. Who called it? I called. So Bozel here allows to do several things. First of all, it will be a buff for Listel if a buff was needed, but Listel is gonna get banned immediately. But Bozel particularly has sleep, and sleep is the strongest stun in the game because it is undispellable, and in addition it also dispels 3 buffs, which for Bozel also means that he puts 1 or 2 more buffs into it. Joshua picked immediately from Maybz, and I am guessing I think actually Weiler could end up being the pick here. A pick of Weiler would allow both Bozel and Luna to, yes, exactly, both Bozel and Luna to go further into enemy territory than is really safe, and then when the tide starts to turn, it is cool to call them back with Weiler. People who are preparing Weiler, as we see him being present in both boxes, they're doing so because Weiler has one of the strongest 3 cost skills to come, in which he triggers his talent by sacrificing 99% of his own HP. But that's not a kill. His talent usually only works on kill, which would transform him into a unit that can just say, hey, now you have my talent, go ahead, and before every battle you're gonna heal a lot, you're gonna have more buffs, and also I'm still alive, which is very, very crazy, as you can imagine. Okay. Yes, we don't get to see the adjustment phase. At this moment, everyone is shuffling around their soldiers, they're shuffling around the skills, and so the starting positions, which in some maps is extremely key, but in this one it could be a little bit mild. So depending on the positioning, for example, if Maybz decides to go a little bit too forward, which he probably won't do, but we're using as an example, the 3 cost skill from Luna, which not a lot of people are used to, could move other people forward and let them attack. However, Bozel is actually a flying unit and he does not count for Luna's 3 cost skill, which actually may point out at Luna actually not using the 3 cost skill. I think in the end they will end up using it anyway because they don't want to risk the buff being dispelled. The 2 cost version can be dispelled, the 3 cost version cannot be dispelled. But it may end up being more straightforward attacking Luna than tricky 3 cost skill using Luna. So let's see. Also, maybe they're not even carrying faction buff on their jugglers. On the left, we have Maybz. Joshua carries his own faction buff now that the 6 cost is possible. Also, this is one of the best maps not to need ninjutsu. And ninjutsu is usually what was used as a third skill that would increase attack if a terrain was defensive. But as we can see, no defensive terrain that Joshua can get on. Claudette, as always, has the classic skills and is prepared in the center to deny as much range as possible. 6 stars Claudette covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not only up to here, but literally she could be punching Luna right now. And one of the things Maybz can do is he could move Liana a little bit, give again here, and that would force Luna to perform a movement right away to any position that Claudette cannot reach right now. And that's just insane right now. Okay, so what do we see? Bozel standing still. As we mentioned, Bozel is now capable of bringing 3 2-cost skills. This is getting hard to say. Sleep was one of the ones we mentioned, plus 2 AoEs, exactly as we predicted. Not like I'm a genius of battle tactics, it's just that these are the most solid picks, and the most solid choices for these characters. That's why it's very normal to see them being applied. In the case of Luna, we see the 3-cost skill, Wind God Realm, so that's there. It's cool because we're gonna get to see the nice animation. And then Raging Thunder, as we mentioned. That probably puts, yes, exactly, the faction buff on Juggler, which will also affect Luna. And Luna with a faction buff is capable of hitting, oh my god, I already see the 1000 magic defense on deployment. This is gonna go to an absurd amount. What's this gonna be? 1300? Yes, 1300, which multiplied by 1.5 basically 2000 attack on Luna. So yeah, that is a thing. Oh my god, that's a bait, right? So this is just throwing forward Listel because on 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? 4 move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It basically cannot even reach Juggler in this position. However, this positioning is basically a bait because Luna was actually in range to attack. And had Luna attacked, of course, she probably would not have killed Listel and would have died in counterattack. This tactic still works on all levels, so it's never wrong to try the correct tactic. However, it's easy to see that MethoD did not want to go for it, did not want to fall for it. Alright, in the case of the remaining characters, we can see that Iris has only brought the targeted teleport, so she cannot jump herself. That's probably going to be fine. And as we mentioned, Weiler contains the tactical retreat option, which will pull units that are too far away from him back into it. I think I think MethoD may have been waiting to see where all of these characters ends up at the end of turn 1 to see if they could teleport Bosel into a position where he would be able to attack next turn. But I don't think that's the case. I think he has been cornered very smartly by Claret, and that's usually a problem. It's also not the right turn to engage for either of these two. Okay, that's interesting. We're gonna talk about that. Because you want Juggler as your protector of your team, of course, in the form of a tank. But what you do not want is to have a turn 1 Juggler with only faction buff. You need the Triton buff in order to be a correct defending unit. Even if you position your units so that the passive skill blocks for them, the water buff reduces so much damage taken by Juggler that it's ridiculous to go into a battle without it. Also, a very common mistake, which I still do nowadays, is to make a Juggler tank without the water buff. But soon Juggler will also get his 3-cost skill, and then water will never leave our feet. Alright. It's always important to see what are the options for these characters, because currently it's Claret who is holding the entire enemy team back. And the most important thing is this Claret can be moved forward, and she will still remain the 10 movement because of how the mechanic works. I think what MethoD is trying to do here is to gain enough time so that he can form a new defensive position with Juggler, and then use that new defensive position as the new place to go from in order to defend against Claret. So we can see she has 9 movement this time, not 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. My god, cannot count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, she currently has reached to these positions, which means actually Weiler and Iris are currently safe. That also points at Juggler being able to move forward a lot, as we see, and then getting in the way of Claret trying to go to any position in the near vicinity. Probably would put Luna somewhere around the pillar, maybe? I don't know. Pillar is usually a good option because it offers a little bit of a defensive capacity, but in this case would also be a little bit too far for Luna even, so that she may not feel safe in that position anymore. I'm really surprised that MethoD didn't end up picking Listel, even though she was an option for an extremely long time. Because there's one thing that Juggler does, and that is healing everyone else and keeping Joshua's type of AoE out of the game. Once again, we see another type of bait. It is currently possible to hit Juggler with the full brunt of Luna, and I think MethoD may decide to go for that, but maybe only after... No, never mind. Chooses not to do so. It is perfectly fine to stay safe. This is also known as the tank push mechanic, where the tank allows all of your damage dealers to stay always safe and be prepared for what's to come. I think if I was Maybz, I would try to delete the water buff from Juggler with Joshua. I would wait for that at the end of the turn, so I would move Liana first. However, I'm obviously not at this level of PvP, so there must be a reason why this group of players have reached it. Imagine that any of these steps have so many possibilities and outcomes, including triggers of different things, that maybe even so Maybz actually even consider the options of debuffs ruining the day on 50-50 chances in case Luna actually had curse lands and so on. That's why he applied Gospel, which prevents all debuffs whatsoever. A very, very strong mechanic in many cases. Is this the wrong positioning? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a little bit of extra damage on Iris and was needed to be taken, but maybe this is bait. I think I would take the bait anyway. Joshua is in a really good position if he stays here for a turn. But in the case of Maybz, he does not take the bait. So the strong thing about this, you know what? I think I would have taken. No, okay, of course. When we're talking about units of players of this caliber, it is very, very unlikely that their defenses are low or that they're gonna die. Look at the health of this Iris. It is 11,000. It makes it very hard to kill, even without faction buff. It's not extremely likely to be killed by the single target. By the AoE attack of Joshua. Also, we have to remember that Juggler will still provide healing between the hit and the trigger effect from Joshua. And I am guessing all of these reasons combined are why Maybz decided not to use the AoE. However, there could be an opportunity to use the AoE from here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And grab people without hitting Juggler. I have to say, it would be weird. Oh my god. That was weird. I did not see that coming. But I would have expected this Listel applying the Finger of Death. She can do it safely from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But apparently this was not the time to do that. Actually, I think Finger of Death would have forced the enemy's hand way more than passing with Claret. So I think what Maybz is trying to do here is to let the enemy do the first turn, because they are pretty sure that counterattack will go much better on their side. However, giving up the turn of Claret means that any of these characters may move forward, including Bozel, or maybe teleported forward, which is way, way stronger. So right now, for example, Iris could teleport Bozel here. End of turn, give maybe the buff of the hat, stage hat, the Eagle Dazzle. Maybe that's even the reason why they moved them there. So if they teleport Bozel here, it's 1, 2, 3. It's not Boots Bozel, it's probably Veil of Light Bozel, which means the AoE damage is going to be ridiculous. But only if he gets the Sage Hat buff, because currently this is not a lot of int. And anyway, if you get Bozel here, you get to 1, 2, 3. Sorry, if you get him here, you get to sleep Juggler, which is also insanely strong. Will probably lead to the kill of any of these characters. Let us see. Maybe they again their Claret. I don't know. I think I would still go with the Listel move. The good thing about Listel here is that it would force the enemy to react. One of their healers has already moved, and you cannot leave a Juggler with a Listel debuff just lying around there, because Joshua is going to have a field day with that. Can't sleep with Gospel. That is very true. Thank you very much. Sometimes while trying to think of the many options, you forget that the simple ones don't even work anymore. Okay, Reaper touches here. Look at all the damage on all the other characters. And now comes a very big decision, is where do I put this Juggler so that Joshua doesn't have a field day with everyone? And that's a really good question. I do like the move. I think having done this on turn 1 would have had way more effect because it would have put Claret at a killing range of basically anything that moves. And right now, I am pretty sure that Joshua can can kill with the AoE Iris and the remaining health thanks to the healing debuff placed here. So what are the options? Ooh, that's really hard. Did they use Wind God? How did that Bozel move so much? Oh my god. Bozel got... Oh, wow. I did not even catch this. So one of the cool mechanics about using the Tenios headdress is that you grant a random buff to any of your units. And in this particular case, it was exactly what we were talking about. Mobility +3, which for Bozel means he gets to move double. And gets to go to situations that are silly like this. The worst part about this move is that Liana cannot even do an again on Joshua. It will have to be eaten and there's nothing that can be done about it. Is there... So there is also... No, Juggler can only move 3. This is why I really like Divine Boots Juggler. With 4 movement, it would have been possible to get Juggler here and then Beast Shock on Bozel, which most likely would have ended up in a kill. But then Joshua would have died, so I guess it is very hard to move around with a slow-moving Juggler. Normal moving Juggler, I guess. Ooh, interesting teleport forward. Now knowing that only Liana can move, the moving Juggler here can offer some other abilities, like for example, Beast Shock. Not only is this useful, of course, because of the power, but because, first of all, it's threatening Claret right away. So I guess Liana will end up here, maybe. It's... Actually, she cannot even be here, so maybe here? No. Yeah, actually, Liana has to choose if she wants to tank the hit or if she wants to lose Claret. The other thing that's useful about teleporting any unit is that it gets the effect of Miracle. There's 20 damage dealt, minus 20 damage taken, which is very straightforward and very useful. Okay, decides to go for a punch. The punch is not really for the damage, but because it's gonna damage everyone else. The reason it goes here... Actually, is this a bad idea? Can Luna move over there? So if it's a Ragnarok Luna, this could absolutely be a kill. But no, decides to go for the Beast Shock. Ah, that's very interesting. This also leads to the possibility of killing... Oh my god. Oh my god, he died himself. Oh, that is so not good. I mean, sure, you trade your tank for Listel, but was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? The answer is most likely no. Tries to go for Liana, but without Ragnarok, this is not a kill. Does not even get a silence. Being set of choices. Well, the problem now is that Claret goes for Bozel, Bozel dies, and the match is over. At least that's what I would do. It doesn't matter who dies after that. With Bozel dead, Juggler cannot be killed. I think with Bozel and Juggler dead. Sorry. Here we go. Direct kill. Freeze trigger. Wandering Princess match is basically over. Yep. I'm not entirely sure what was the attempt out of that. But I guess maybe there was some sort of so how could we... I'm trying to think if there was any way that a debuff of extra fixed damage snuck in, but I guess the both the touch and also the fact that he was attacking Listel basically made Juggler kill himself over the posterior healing after combat. Okay, things are changed. We see a first ban on Landius, I think it was, which led directly to the pick of Zerida. Zerida is an incredible option to keep other things like a Claret away from the field. In case you can move that Zerida, especially a lot easier to position a Zerida than to position Claret. However, without a tank, it leads to a different type of strategy altogether. Okay, we see a Luna, both characters that can do faction buff. This opens the gates to basically everything else. Is Yusuke Meteor? No, he's not Meteor. He's Protagonist, Time, and Mythical. So no Meteor there. I think Hiei is Mythical, and we're all Comet, and we're all waiting for him. On the side of Maybz, we see a more regular setup with a Juggler as a tank. The cool thing about Zerida is that Juggler becomes basically a non-factor, and you can just run around him in most scenarios. The bans continue on countering anything that would counter Zerida. So in this case, it will be another Zerida or a Claret. And with that, the remaining characters are all small movers. Also called short legs, in case there's any interest. There's probably a chance that Luna gets banned here because it would also fit to the role of the long legs. But it's not the case yet. Of course, controlling certain very optimal healers, very important. A Julia being teleported forward can probably kill any character and then use the AoE that prevents movement for slow characters, and that could be just deadly and devastating. However, of course, Method units right now are all long legs. Not his Bozel though, his Bozel is only 3. I guess this will lead to the ban of Listel. I'm very surprised that Method hasn't picked up Listel to counter the Juggler. Maybe their Listel is actually a bait, because I cannot think of a more optimal situation to pick Listel than when a Julia and a Juggler are in the same match. So if I was Maybz, I would be banning Listel, and I would be probably banning Elwyn as well. Not that I want to say I called it, but I did. And what we were mentioning before, we got to see that Weiler did absolutely nothing on the last game. If he had had his 3-cost skill, it may have been even better for Method to suicide Weiler to make him useful for the next 3 battles, than what we saw in the last game. So we will see if there's any way for him to pick himself out of this. He's currently having a very strong rush team. Suicide Zerida, together with a Yusuke and a Luna, they can all buff themselves. So it will be a matter of positioning correctly and attacking the right targets. What do I prefer here? An again or a Weiler? I think an again would be very useful here. I think maybe even using again on turn 1. Like, move Zerida forward, prepare Suicide Zerida, give her an again immediately, and promise that someone will die. I think that could be really strong. But again, Luna was picked. That means there's a long leg character. Zerida is no longer able to just bully everyone on site. Last pick is Liana, we mentioned. It could be an intention to delay this to turn 4, so that Liana has again, and the player 2 actually becomes player 1, or first round player. We see a Tiaris on the other side, which could possibly lead to a very, very long match unless Bozel is capable of applying some magical debuffs, or Zerida can pick people off with ease. I think the winning condition behind Method, so the winning condition for Method is to try to eliminate Luna, and once Luna dies, it still will be very manageable to kill a Julia, and everyone else will just fall after. I don't think, you know what, okay, double healer and juggler can still last until turn 12, so that's a thing that maybe can go for. But in general, with Yusuke available, I don't think tanks will be a problem in general. It's also important to notice that the summon from Liana can absolutely trigger Yusuke's talent. So there may be a special turn where there's an again on Yusuke, for example, and a suicide on the angel, the sky archer rather, that triggers the the power up for Yusuke, who may be transformed at the same time, and attacks, dealing 7 trillion damage from the range of 4 or something like this with the spirit gun, and eliminates almost anything. Just not juggler, I guess, and Julia is healthy. But that's what Bozel is for. If there's a Bozel, there is a way. So what would I like to see? I guess Suicide Serida with both attacking skills and Alhazard. Faction buff, Sleep, Black Hole Bozel. Faction buff, Transformation, Spirit Gun, Yusuke. And Liana with, again, would I use Miracle? No, I don't think so. I think I would use just the Sky Archers. Let's see. We have a mouse now. We can choose things. Sky Archers, again, a normal heal. That's called for. Ah, yes, Slice tried to move back because she's not having any other way to go back. Suicide Serida as predicted. And then 3 cost. Luna in this scenario will be much, much more effective. You can plant her here, for example, and then Serida on turn 1 can already move all the way to here, because she can ignore the cost terrain of these 2 tiles. So that's pretty insane. Not the case for Bozel. Very sad that Bozel and Luna do not synergize in that case, but it could be very good for everyone else. As mentioned, Yusuke transforms. Yusuke goes for his own faction buff. He also will be able to transform later. Gain mobility, gain range, gain damage, gain everything. What do we see on Bozel? Faction buff, Black Hole, Sleep. I am very happy that I was thinking the same as one of the finalists was thinking. So at the very least, on that side of things, we had the same thoughts. What do we see on Julia? Yes, as I mentioned, the trick for Julia will be to find the correct position to use this skill that prevents enemy movement, basically, by -3 mobility. -3 mobility would negate the movement on these characters. Not on Yusuke once he transforms or someone dies, but on the base characters he would do. While it is capable of strengthening, I guess that is cute. If there is no faction buff available, then might as well do that. But Luna was there. Luna is gonna take faction buff from Juggler, and Juggler also faction buffs for Tiaris, so that's not bad at all. It would be probably a mistake to move Juggler forward, so they're probably gonna delay around this area for a while. Okay, the Alhazard. Ooh, a Breeze Trigger. This may require immediate action by Maybz, because a Breeze Trigger here means that Serida can basically go anywhere in the battlefield. If Luna, as the last move, if Luna goes here, that means Serida can go literally anywhere in the battlefield. So currently she can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is ridiculous, and then 1, 2 for the range. If no one else moves, I think I would take the life of Luna and just run away. Even if Julia gets to kill your Serida, I would still very happily trade the 2. That is just me though. I think a dead Serida is perfectly fine if it kills one of the strongest win conditions. The thing about Julia is that without Hellfire Archers, okay, so Julia could also be killed. unless Tiaris gives her healing light. As we mentioned, we see Luna getting away from that place because it probably means that Maybz loses if Luna was dead. That being said, is there any way to use this 9 movement Zerida? I mean, to be fair, you could put your Luna here and be a link to everywhere, right? Let's say Luna goes here just to stay away from this Julia. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I guess here would make even more sense because you don't want to get attacked by this attack. Actually, do you even care? No, I don't think I care. I can safely put Luna here. This would allow Zerida to pick whomever she wants. It could be Wyler, it could be Tiaris. If attacked, blah. Okay, so the Bold Rangers in this case would not protect against Zerida because she's actually attacking directly the hero. I think MethoD is currently regretting that use case so far in the back. But we'll see. He may be currently calculating what's the best place to place this Luna. I think my personal choice would just be here because I want things to happen. But then again, you don't want to get attacked by their Luna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. So okay, this position may end up being the safest. It does not allow, again, your... Okay, the equivalent above is also fine. Goes for faction buff. Once again, it's not that he didn't know exactly what to do with Luna. It's to think, am I going to jump in the next opportunity? Because there's an attack blessing Luna now, and that puts everyone at risk. Is there really a need to throw Zerida into this Julia, who may not even end up dying for whatever mystical reason you don't know? Those are all very, very valid questions. Could also be worth trying to kill Wyler, but then everyone is extremely buffed and Luna will come to kill you. So it might as well be a good opportunity to take the center of the field. The enemy has to come to you eventually, and you might as well allow it. Not to mention that this Luna can probably reach anywhere right now. And could even be, for example, a kill on Wyler and then a return. Could even be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1... No, that's not enough. Could be a punch on Julia and return, but that's not good. Okay, there we go. The Triton is in, so at the very least, that attack from Luna is not going to happen that way. And we will see. Does anyone have news on how Zelda is doing? I guess maybe if this match ends quickly, we can watch that one as well. I gotta say, I think MethoD 1-0 for Zelda. Okay. If MethoD plays his turns very carefully, he may get a very solid win. I think the question here is how to deal with the situation where Zerida needs to move to make room for Yusuke. But if you move Zerida, you want Yusuke to already be transformed because there's a chance she dies. You don't want to let go of your Bloodthirster. So is it really time to attack Julia? But then Julia may not die, and then Luna kills your everything basically. That's why the Sky Archer is put in the front. If you count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It's a bait if you want to look at it that way. Does the talent give +1? Yes. So I think what I would have done is throw the angel even further forward. You kind of wanted to be able to attack and kill itself, which would at the same time trigger. So what we see now is what we were mentioning. This would give 2 free movements to Zerida, who right now could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5. Okay, never mind. I cannot count. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still not enough to modify who the targets possibly are. I think in this case, I would just put Yusuke over here, take the annoyance, but be done with it. Nope, decides to go for Weiler. Is this even a kill? Yes, a very solid kill. Does this work on the 3 steps back from Slice Stride? Yes, it does. Wow, that is a very cool move from MethoD, which may have opened up the battlefield just by doing this. Amazing, amazing move. These are some of the things that really excite me because new skills are supposed to shake up possibilities like this, offer new tactical options, and showing once again why Luna is still, even though she's single target, remains one of the strongest rushed units. That was amazing. That was really good. I'm happy. Okay. Luna wants to get close. Cannot get an attack though. 3. No attacks. Gets back just out of sadness. It could offer something for Julia, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it does. That's very sad. That's probably a dead Luna. I think it was still very worth it, because then Julia will be completely out of place and Yusuke can probably take care of that, or even Zerida. I don't know. Someone. But yeah, right now things are as they are. Hey, big guy, how are you doing? I'm doing quite fine. There was just a really cool move by MethoD, now countered by another cool move by Maybz. So way more exciting than I thought it would be. Ooh, goes directly for Zerida. A little bit dangerous. Unless the heals are... Oh, okay, with Healing Light, it's no longer dangerous. The heal is back to full. Ooh. This is one of the cool things about Luna. The new 3-cost skill makes it impossible to dispel the Wind Spiral. And without that, it would have been way, way, way worse. So, what are we gonna see? A sleep? Ah, we cannot even see a sleep, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no sleep. No sleeperinos. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, the Wind God is on. Julia in a nutshell. Yep, that is indeed correct. So what would I do? Wait, is the buff still there? I'm surprised. Yes, almost I was 100%. Absolutely. The thing is not even supposed to help Puzzle, so did he again get a breeze from someone? That's amazing. Oh, that's so smart. That is so smart. Okay, so Puzzle normally is a flying unit, and Sorceress are obviously also a flying unit. However, if you put a walking soldier, Puzzle suddenly becomes a walking unit, and that's why Luna's aura was able to help. If that's the case, it may have been a breeze trigger by Tenyo's headdress. If that was the case, I missed it. However, that is a possible explanation because we see Crystal Warlocks here. And Crystal Warlocks are amazing against Julia's and Luna's. Given Puzzle's natural high defenses, there may be a chance that he lives through an attack. Especially on such a high defense tile. So Crystal Warlocks, they heal themselves after every action, so that's great. Wait, wasn't there a sleep? Okay. But yeah, that's the power of Crystal Warlocks. That was a strong punch by Julia and nothing happened. That is amazing. Okay, so what comes next? I mean, Luna can still move, so that's good. But this is still protecting. So one of the options, of course, is to use the Sky Archers to shoot at Julia, and then use Liana to heal the Bozo. That is entirely possible. Yusuke currently can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then can attack. You know what? I feel like this Bozo is pretty safe. I think I would go for the option of even againing him, because if that happens, so if you again Bozo right now, and Bozo gets killed by Luna, for whatever reason, Yusuke can probably kill both anyway, and that's super strong. And of course, if Bozo does not get attacked, then he's still capable of doing any cool thing against the people here. Draupnir Thorns Warlock Bozo. Disgusting. Okay, the again happened. I see that Liana has Athenios, so the crazy move on Bozo may have also been a breeze trigger. Could also not be the case. I think I would have gone for an attack on Julia from range, just to see her die a little. Like, I don't know, kill one unicorn or not. You know what? It doesn't make it. Yes, could have made a difference. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, it's still like a lot of hits, so who knows? Goes for Luna probably. Nope. Goes once again for Bozo. Okay, so things as we predicted. Now Yusuke is insanely strong, which means he will come over here, delete Luna, or Luna will delete Luna. I don't know. But the thing is, something has to happen before this juggler gets to move. I think I'm more afraid of... what a difficult choice. I think Luna killing Luna makes way more sense. So you get to kill Luna, you get to move away. And then Yusuke gets to move here and take a shot at something. You could also try to punch this Julia. But no, yeah. Luna killing... Oh my god, that's really, really bad. That is really, really bad. Yeah, I think I would have gone for Yusuke heal. Because Julia gets healed, yep. But Luna also can get healed, and that's also dangerous. But to be fair, with a slow juggler, it's not really bad to take your time trying to kill Luna. I think neither of them used any skill, so Yusuke can just come here and directly punch. How long does this last? 3 turns, okay. Anger. Also, hero deals plus 20% damage. Nice. I wonder if they both have Cursed Lands Luna. Because I really would have expected to see... this Luna dies anyway. Don't worry about this. Maybe this is even bait to offer a Tiaris for a kill. Is this even possible? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's... 1, 2, 3, 4... The Wind God buff is gone, right? Yeah. 3, 4... Yeah, okay. It's a straight up kill on Luna. That's still pretty good. Also gives Ancient Wisdom again, which is very, very decent for damage. But now this person will move over here and do Great Dragon Barrier. Yep. So the question is, how do you live through this Julia? I have absolutely no answer whatsoever. Especially if Julia gets on the tile where Luna is currently. I don't see how this match can end up well. I guess one of the options is to run. Like, Luna could move here. I don't know. Okay, goes for the straight up punch. Oh, with the Sky Archer. Nice. Just to give another buff over here. Guess that works. I don't think it would have been my choice, but it works. and then goes for a normal heal there. I think Julia may still be able to kill, because Julia's redemption discipline is up again. But if there's anyone who can tank a Julia punch, it is a Luna. It is a fully healed Luna, that's for sure. So maybe... Oh my god, attack blessing. Maybe it's actually over. Is the one-shot juggler the best choice here? Yeah. What is Julia using as the last skill? Faith. That's pretty bad. I think I would attack with Luna right now. What? That was really unexpected. I guess, you know what? I guess this juggler ends up out of water for next turn. But that's basically throwing Luna away, no? Maybe Liana dies? I did not see this move coming, I have to say. Ooh, fixed damage prevention. Oh, wow, that was a complete waste. That was indeed a complete waste. And now she's out of range of this juggler. Ooh, wow. I think it's punching time. I think it is punching time. Yep. Liana has to have a bracer. Ooh, passes the turn. I don't know, this is very intense. I can only say this. So if Juggler goes here, Yusuke may kill. If Juggler doesn't go here, he may not be tanking for everyone else. I think I would have attacked Julia anyway. I don't see any bad reason not to attack Julia. Ah, she still has this stupid buff. Okay, got it. So what now? Heal on Liana? Summon another archer? Is it turn? 4 rounds. This is turn 5. Yeah, it could be. Well, it could have been, but apparently chooses not to do that. I really don't understand this attack. Is it just for the movement down? But this is obviously gonna go into defend, right? If there was any moment to attack this juggler, it was now. So Triton is in, and now? Do you attack with Luna into this? Apparently, no, you just faction buff. So confused on so many accounts. Never mind, they are whales. Well, if we could understand them. If we could understand them. I gotta say, I'm very confused about the last movements. Even though we see that both characters have people defeated. I think... okay, an interesting move right now would be to move here and attack Juggler directly. Because in that case, Liana is protected by body. But no, you know what? She has still the special ability, so just ignore. Okay, that's a good punch, but we knew it was not gonna be enough. It would have been enough to kill when he was not in water. That would have been my first move. But what do I know? And now, is it a kill time? Yep. And Yusuke is dead. And I think MethoD's run is over, which makes me sad because I bet on him and all that money is now gone. Ooh. I think even if there was a way to get a kill here... Oh, Thorn's trigger too. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. You bet on Maybz? Well done. That was the correct bet then. I could tell you what the incorrect bet was if you want. Alright. GG's. GG's indeed. I felt a little bit confused by the movements at the end, but I can say 100% for sure that it is very normal to get nervous about what's going on. And it's very difficult to keep track of everything that you need to keep track of, especially when you are one match down and you see that it's not going your way so easily. So good run for MethoD. I believe he got even further than in Season 1, so congratulations to him. And Maybz moves to the finals.